Hey guys, it's me Charuta and welcome back to my channel. This is a new setup because I moved back in August and I haven't really filmed a sit down video since I moved here, and I've kind of been irregular with my YouTube uploads as well because I have not been feeling up to it because I feel like my videos don't get enough views and there's no one watching them, so there's no use of putting any videos up. But I'm super excited about this video because this video is all about my apartment hunting process. I won't be going about how I found these apartments. I can do a separate video on how I looked for these apartments and what is the process that you really have to follow if you're moving to Boston to like rent an apartment or anything. So yeah, I toured about 10 apartments before like deciding on the one that I wanted to go for. So I'll be talking about what kind of apartments I actually toured and why I did go for the apartment that I am living in. So yeah, let's start with the first apartment tour. So the first apartment that we toured was a 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom apartment. It had a beautiful kitchen and a great living area that had like big windows and a lot of natural light coming in. But one of the rooms was like smaller and had just one window, and the other room had only two windows. And for one of the rooms, there was no door on the closet, and the one that had door on the closet was like a very dingy dark room. It was a nice apartment. Me and my friend at that time were looking for apartments together, so we actually did decide to go for that apartment. It was like a 15 to 25 minutes walk from work, which was really nice. It was in Cambridge, so the rent was 2400. That means we would each pay 1200 for our rooms, but it did not include heat, hot water or electricity, so those were all going to be added to the utilities. And it had electric heat, which also kind of adds up in the winter months. When we decided to apply for the apartment, there were people already who were applying to the apartment. They had all their documents and like the deposit ready to go, so that is the reason we didn't get that apartment. So the second apartment that I toured was called Harbor Point or Harbor Bay Apartments. They were in Dorchester. It was a 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom apartment, had a beautiful living area, and it also has nice sized closets. And also rent was another point, so the rent was around 3650, and like it was above my budget. My budget was around like $1400 per month. And the first thing is that the commute from the apartments to my work was about 1 hour, and like I had to walk to the T station, then take the T, and then walk again to my work. So like it's kind of doable in the summer, but wasn't like worth it in the winter when it's snowing and like we have like crazy cold winds going on all the time. Even though the apartment was nice, the society was also like pretty nice. It was like a gated community. It was right next to the sea, and they also had like indoor gym. And another thing that I was a little apprehensive about was that there was nothing around. There was like no city, and there were not a lot of grocery stores as well. So it would have been a good option if you are married and you want to like live a little outside of the city, and if you have a car. But as a young working professional, it did not really make a lot of sense to me. Also like it was for 3650, so I had to like pay about $1,825 just for the rent, even though the heat was included. It still did not make sense to me. Nonetheless, it was a great apartment with gym and like tennis courts, basketball courts, like really nice if you are a family person. Today is Sunday, and today I'm going to go look at two apartments. At this point, I've seen five apartments so far, and none of them have worked out. So I hope one of these works out because these are pretty close to my work. So I just have to walk to my work. They're like a bit far from the city and the area that I love and the area that I'm currently living in. But I can't find any good apartments in this area. So I guess I'll have to move to Cambridge and not live in Boston anymore. So yeah, I'll film a video of the apartments, and yeah, let's see how it turns out. Wish me luck. As I said in the video, the third apartment was pretty close to my work, and there was a room available in that apartment, and the room was for about $1,000. But the room was so small, there was just one window. I could barely fit a bed, and even the closet was like a makeshift closet. It did not have any closets in the room, and other than that closet in the room, there was just one common closet, and it was pretty big, but it didn't make sense to me, especially not for the price. The room was literally like a matchbox. I understand that the rooms in Boston and Cambridge are pretty small, the apartments are also pretty small because it is the city, but that room was literally not it for me. Also, that apartment did have a washer and dryer, but the dryer wasn't working, so we had to like dry our clothes on hanging racks, which also did not make sense to me, especially in the winter when you wash your coats and your sweaters. They would take like days to dry up. It had a living room. It was like 3 bedroom, 1 bathroom. I was also apprehensive about the fact that it was like 3 bedrooms in just 1 bathroom, and it has a pretty decent sized kitchen. So this apartment was a no for me. Also, I did not get good vibes from the roommates because they were like, we don't really want to wait around, so if you're interested, let us know by the end of the day. And I think they were pretty rude. They were also like asking me about my age and like if I party. Like, I mean, that makes sense, but there is a way to ask those things, so that was also a turn off point. Even though it was one of the cheapest apartments I looked at, it was like an instant no for me. So apartment 4 was also in Cambridge, and it was also like a 10-minute walk from my work. I actually like went to look at this apartment twice. There were two rooms available. One room was for 1500 and had an attached washroom, and the other one was for 1350. So the room that was for 1350 was a really big room. It had like 4 windows in the room. It also had bay windows. I absolutely love bay windows, and also it was a 3 bedroom with 2 washrooms. That's always a plus. And then it had like a nice living and dining area, a good sized kitchen, and it also had washer and dryer. So like it was one of the apartments that I really liked, and it had normal sized washrooms. It also had like and it also had a big common storage closet where you could put your like winter coats and suitcases and everything. So yeah, it was a really nice apartment. Also, the girl who showed me the apartment, who had renewed her lease, was a really nice person compared to the, like, I saw apartment 3 and apartment 4 in the same day, and I got like really good vibes from her. She was like really warm, and she answered all my questions, and like that is always a plus if you're looking for rooms in apartments. Going to see the apartments in person makes sense because you get to see the space, which is a good thing. But I think interacting with your future roommates is also a big plus, because once you interact with people, you get kind of an idea about if you would be able to live with that person or not, because like having good roommates is really important, especially when you're living with other people and if you're like a young working professional. So I'm out of my office and I'm going to look at an apartment. It's kind of far from my work. It's like a 45 minutes commute, and it's also out of my budget, but I still wanted to go look at it and look at the area. So that's what we're doing right now. I'm at the bus stop and I'm waiting for the bus, and I'll take the bus to that apartment. So the next apartment that I toured was at 147 Calvin Street, and it was also one of the apartments that I absolutely loved. Firstly, it had a tea stop right in front of the apartment complex, which was really nice for the travel. But for the travel, I would have to take the green line and then change into the red line, and it would be like a 1 hour 15 minutes commute. There was also a bus, but that would also take like 45 minutes. So that was the only damper. Also, the price for the apartment was really nice. It was a 2 bedroom 2 bathroom apartment, and it was for 3400, and it has a nice living space. The rooms were equally spacious, and the best thing about this apartment that I absolutely loved was it had a walk-in closet. So if you like are someone who has lived in cities like New York or Boston, you know it is so difficult to find an apartment with a great walk-in closet. Closets here are literally as big as a dresser. I'm not even exaggerating, because the rooms are as big as a matchbox. So I was really excited about the fact that it had a walk-in closet, and it had a washer and dryer in unit, which is also a great luxury if you're living in the city. It also had an indoor pool, which was really nice, and it also had gym area. It had like a squash court, and then it also had like a parking space, so that was really exciting. But then again, I think it was out of my budget. It wasn't really 3600, it was around 3800, and it was out of my budget. So that was the reason I did not like look for this apartment, and I really want to like live closer to work. So I had also really liked an apartment that was closer to work, so that is why it did not work out. Also, for this apartment, the heat and hot water wasn't included, so like heat goes up really high in winter. Like the bill for heat goes up really high in winter. So yeah, it would just be out of my budget. So sadly, I had to leave that apartment, but also I did not want to travel for like an hour and a half to work. So The last apartment that I actually had a tour of was an apartment right in front of the Riviera beach. So the rent for the room was 1300. The room had a walk-in closet and an attached washroom, which was a great deal. As soon as you go a little out of the city, you get better deals. But again, the commute was like an hour in the tea and then like a 15-16 minute to the work. So that would be like spending 2.5 hours every day for travel. I did not really want to do that, and that apartment was really nice. The living area was amazing. It had so many windows, it was beautiful, it had so much sunlight coming in, and it also had like a little balcony area which had the view of the beach that looked really beautiful. But sadly, I did not get that apartment. So yeah, that is a very realistic tour of all the apartments that I actually looked at before deciding on the one that I am living in. And if you haven't watched my moving vlog or like setting up my room videos, I will link those videos here so you can go and watch those, and let me know in the comments below which apartment do you think I went for. There are like some hints here and there if you've watched my moving vlog or any of my setting up my room videos. And in case you guys want me to do another video on how to like find these apartments, what is the actual procedure, what all you have to do, let me know. I would be happy to like make a separate video on this, because this video is already so long and I did not want to make an hour long video, if that even makes sense. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope this video is helpful for you guys if you guys are looking to move to Boston and looking for apartments in the Boston Cambridge area. And I'll see you in my next video next Monday. Until then, bye.